You wake up in your Raccoon City apartment to the sound of heavy footsteps in the hallway. Through the peephole, you see him. 7 feet of bioengineered terror in a black coat. Mr. X has found you, and he's not here to chat. The Tyrant program designed him for one purpose: eliminate targets like you. But here's the thing, physics doesn't care how scary something looks. Today we're breaking down the real science behind escaping both this relentless hunter and the city itself. Could your ordinary human body actually outmaneuver a 200-kilogram bioweapon using nothing but physics and smart tactics? We'll run the numbers on his actual capabilities, find the weaknesses his designers never considered, and map out your best shot at survival. Pause right now and decide. Do you run for the stairs or try the fire escape? Before you make any moves, you need to understand exactly what you're dealing with. According to Umbrella's files, Mr. X stands 7'3" and weighs over 200 kilograms. That's 440 pounds of engineered muscle and bone. His top speed clocks around 25 miles per hour in a straight sprint. Those numbers might sound terrifying, but they actually reveal critical weaknesses. Let's start with basic physics. When something that massive moves at 25 miles per hour, it carries tremendous momentum. Mass times velocity equals a force that can punch through walls. But momentum is a double-edged sword. The same physics that makes Mr. X devastating in a straight line make him terrible at quick direction changes. Think about trying to stop a freight train versus stopping a motorcycle. Mr. X is the freight train. Here's where it gets interesting. That 200-kilogram mass means he exerts roughly 2,000 newtons of force just standing still. When he's moving, especially downstairs or around corners, that force becomes a liability. His center of gravity sits much higher than yours, making him unstable on uneven terrain. A grizzly bear weighs about the same as Mr. X, but bears evolved for varied terrain. Mr. X was designed for laboratory corridors. His sensory systems follow predictable patterns. The Tyrant series relies primarily on visual tracking and sound detection. Unlike zombies that follow scent trails, Mr. X possesses information more like a sophisticated security system. He tracks movement, responds to loud noises, and follows predetermined patrol routes when he loses a target. This isn't supernatural hunting, it's programmed behavior with exploitable limitations. The sound detection works through vibration analysis. Those heavy footsteps you hear? They're not just intimidating, they're a massive tactical disadvantage. Every step sends vibrations through the building structure that you can use to track his position. Meanwhile, your much lighter footsteps create vibrations roughly 1/10 the intensity of his. In acoustic terms, you're practically invisible if you move correctly. His visual system processes like advanced motion detection. Sudden movements trigger immediate response, but slow, deliberate motion often goes unnoticed. Security cameras work the same way. They're programmed to flag rapid changes, not gradual ones. Mr. X's enhanced eyes follow similar programming logic. Now here's the crucial physics advantage you have. Square cube law governs how strength scales with size. While Mr. X is much stronger than you, his strength doesn't increase proportionally with his mass. His muscle fibers are dense, but not magically efficient. Meanwhile, your smaller size gives you better power-to-weight ratio for climbing, jumping, and rapid acceleration. In tight spaces, his bulk becomes your biggest advantage. Doorways that you slip through easily force him to duck and turn sideways. Stairwells designed for human proportions make him awkward and slow. Air vents, maintenance shafts, and crawl spaces become absolute no-go zones for something his size. The real kicker? Endurance. Bioweapons might seem tireless, but thermodynamics apply to everything. Moving 200 kilograms requires enormous energy expenditure. His cardiovascular system, no matter how enhanced, still needs to pump blood to all that muscle mass. You're running a fuel-efficient compact car against a gas-guzzling truck. In a prolonged chase, physics favors the lighter, more efficient machine. So, which escape route exploits these weaknesses best? The stairs force him into the most unstable configuration. But the fire escape gives you multiple exit options. Your choice here determines everything that follows. Let's say you choose the stairs. Smart move. Here's why physics is on your side. when Mr. X hits those stairs, his 200-kilogram mass creates a nightmare scenario for his balance and momentum. Stairs force him to shift his center of gravity with every step, and the high center of mass makes him incredibly unstable. You've probably seen how awkward tall people look on steep stairs. Now imagine that person weighs as much as a motorcycle. The key is understanding footstep vibration physics. Every time Mr. X's boot hits a step, it sends a shock wave through the building structure. Concrete stairs transmit these vibrations efficiently. You can feel his approach from 2 floors away. But here's your advantage. While his steps register like small earthquakes, your footsteps barely register on the seismic scale. Military stealth training teaches soft stepping, a technique that minimizes ground contact vibration. Place your foot heel to toe, rolling your weight gradually rather than dropping it. This distributes force over time instead of creating a sharp impact spike. On wooden stairs, step near the wall where the boards connect to structural supports. These areas flex less and create minimal creaking. But the real physics hack involves using Mr. X's momentum against him. When he's descending stairs at speed, stopping or changing direction becomes nearly impossible. That's 200 kilograms of mass moving at roughly 15 miles per hour down an inclined plane. The physics formula for stopping distance shows he needs significantly more space and time to halt than you do. Here's where building structure becomes critical. Most apartment stairwells weren't designed for repeated impacts for something Mr. X's size. Standard concrete stairs can handle about 4,000 pounds of distributed load, but Mr. X's concentrated footsteps create stress points that exceed design limits. After enough pursuit, those stairs might literally crumble under him. The elevator shaft presents a different physics problem entirely. If you're considering this route, understand the terminal velocity calculations. A human body reaches about 120 miles per hour in free fall, but that's in optimal aerodynamic position. In an elevator shaft, you're looking at maybe 60 to 80 miles per hour due to air resistance and the confined space. That's still fatal from any significant height. However, elevator cables and emergency brakes offer options. Most modern elevators have multiple steel cables rated for several times the car's weight. If you can reach the cables, they provide a controlled descent path, but only if you understand rope physics. Friction burns become a real concern. Your hands can only grip effectively for about 30 seconds before muscle failure sets in. The fire escape route changes the physics equation completely. External stairs give you wind-resistant factors that work in your favor. Mr. X's bulk creates massive wind drag, slowing his pursuit significantly. Meanwhile, your smaller profile cuts through air resistance efficiently. Climbing biomechanics favor your lighter frame. Your muscle-to-weight ratio allows for rapid vertical movement that Mr. X simply cannot match. Fire escape ladders designed for human proportions become nearly impossible obstacles for something his size. Those rungs, spaced 12 inches apart? Perfect for your stride, awkward for his massive frame. Weather physics matters too. Rain creates slippery surfaces that affect larger masses disproportionately. Mr. X's weight distribution means less surface area contact per pound, reducing friction coefficients. You maintain better grip-to-weight ratio on wet metal surfaces. The structural integrity of fire escapes becomes another factor. These external structures are typically rated for emergency loads, not sustained impacts from something Mr. X's mass. The bolts connecting fire escape platforms to building walls experience shear forces they weren't designed to handle. Your best bet? Use the fire escape's multiple exit points. Most external stairs offer access to different floors and sometimes ground-level alleys. This gives you options Mr. X doesn't have. He's committed to whatever route he chooses due to his size limitations. So here's your physics-based decision point. Elevator shaft offers speed but high risk. Fire escape provides multiple options with moderate risk. Which route does the math support for your specific situation? You've made it to the street level, but now the real physics challenge begins. Urban environments completely change the pursuit dynamics between you and Mr. X. Those narrow apartment corridors that slowed him down? Gone. Now you're dealing with open spaces, multiple sight lines, and terrain that could either save your life or seal your fate. Line of sight physics becomes your primary concern. Mr. X's visual tracking system works like any optical device. It needs direct line of sight to maintain target lock. Urban geometry gives you massive disadvantages here. Building corners create blind spots, parked cars provide mobile cover, and elevated structures break his visual tracking entirely. The key is understanding angles. If you can put a solid object between you and his position, you effectively become invisible to his targeting system. But here's where most people mess up the physics. They think running in straight lines down open streets gives them speed advantages. Wrong. Mr. X's 25-mile-per-hour top speed easily outpaces your maximum sprint output of maybe 15 miles per hour. In open terrain, he wins every time. The math is brutal. If he's 100 meters behind you on a straight street, he closes the gap in roughly 20 seconds. Your advantage lies in exploiting urban obstacles that favor agility over raw speed. Parked cars force him to navigate around or over barriers, slowing his momentum significantly. Those same cars you can slide across or duck under without breaking stride. Chain link fences become nearly impassable obstacles for his bulk, while you can climb them in seconds. Real-world parkour physics apply perfectly here. Energy conservation becomes critical during extended evasion. Vaulting over obstacles maintains your forward momentum while forcing Mr. X to either go around or break through. Both options cost him time and energy. Wall runs let you access elevated positions he simply cannot reach due to his weight and proportions. The crowd dynamics factor changes everything if there are other survivors around. Human traffic flow follows predictable patterns, even during emergencies. People naturally cluster near perceived safety zones and create bottlenecks at exit points. You can use these crowds as both concealment and obstacles. Your human-sized profile lets you weave through groups that would scatter when Mr. X approaches. Underground access points offer your best long-term evasion strategy. Raccoon City's sewer system connects most major buildings and provides routes Mr. X cannot follow. The structural engineering here works in your favor. Those tunnels were designed for human maintenance access, not 200-kilogram bioweapons. Manholes, storm drains, and utility tunnels create a parallel transportation network sized perfectly for you. But underground physics presents new challenges. Sewer systems rely on gravity flow, meaning they slope toward treatment facilities. Understanding the grade helps you navigate efficiently while conserving energy. Most urban sewer systems maintain roughly 2% grade, steep enough for water flow, gentle enough for human navigation. Weather physics dramatically affects your street-level options. Rain creates acoustic masking that helps hide your movement sounds, but it also reduces traction for rapid direction changes. Wet pavement decreases friction coefficients, making Mr. X's heavy footsteps more likely to slip during sharp turns. Meanwhile, your lighter weight maintains better grip ratios on slick surfaces. Wind patterns in urban environments follow predictable physics. Buildings create wind tunnels that can either help or hinder your movement. Crosswinds affect larger masses more dramatically, so strong gusts actually slow Mr. X more than they slow you. Use this during rooftop escapes or when crossing open plazas. Vehicle dynamics present interesting options, if you can access transportation. Motorcycles offer the best power-to-weight ratio for urban evasion, but they require specific skills. Cars provide protection, but limit your route options to streets wide enough for Mr. X to follow. Bicycles give you the perfect middle ground, fast enough to outpace his walking speed, maneuverable enough to access routes he cannot follow. The real physics advantage comes from combining multiple evasion techniques. Use buildings to break line of sight, crowds to mask your movement, and underground access to completely change the pursuit dynamic. Your goal isn't to outrun him in a straight line. It's to make his size and mass work against him at every opportunity. So you've got 3 routes to the city limits: the main highway with vehicle access, the underground tunnel system, or the rooftop path across connected buildings. Which route does physics favor for your final escape? You've navigated the urban maze and reached the city's edge, but the final physics challenge might be the most critical. Escape routes present completely different risk-reward calculations based on real-world transportation dynamics. The main highway offers vehicle access, but here's the physics problem. Mr. X can follow vehicles on open roads. his 25-mile-per-hour sprint speed means he can actually keep pace with city traffic during evacuation chaos. Worse, highways become bottlenecks during emergencies. Traffic physics shows that even minor slowdowns create exponential delays. One stalled car can back up traffic for miles, trapping you in a metal coffin while Mr. X approaches on foot. If you choose a motorcycle, the power-to-weight ratio works in your favor. A decent bike can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 4 seconds. Physics Mr. X simply cannot match. But motorcycles require specific skills under stress. Target fixation, a real phenomenon where riders steer toward whatever they're looking at, becomes deadly when you're focused on a pursuing bioweapon. Cars provide protection but limit your route options. Standard vehicles need roads wide enough for Mr. X to follow. However, the physics of automotive protection matter. Modern car doors can stop most projectiles, but they won't stop 200 kilograms of bioweapon if Mr. X gets close enough to grab your vehicle. The underground tunnel system changes the physics entirely. Most cities maintain utility tunnels that connect to regional infrastructure networks. These passages follow engineering standards that exclude anything Mr. X's size. The catch? Navigation becomes critical. Underground systems follow logical patterns. Power lines run toward substations. Water mains connect to treatment facilities, and storm drains flow toward rivers. Energy expenditure calculations favor this route for extended evasion. Moving through tunnels requires steady walking rather than energy-intensive sprinting. Your body can maintain tunnel navigation for hours, while surface evasion burns through your glycogen stores in minutes. The rooftop path offers the most interesting physics. Connected buildings in urban areas often sit close enough for human jumping distances, typically 6 to 8 feet between structures. Your running jump covers roughly 12 feet with proper technique. Mr. X's mass makes these gaps nearly impossible. Even if he could generate enough force to jump, landing 200 kilograms on rooftop structures would likely cause structural failure. Bridge structural integrity becomes your final consideration. Raccoon City's bridges were designed for standard traffic loads, not emergency evacuation stress. Add potential combat damage, and you're looking at structures operating beyond their engineering limits. Weight distribution matters. Your 150 pounds barely registers, while Mr. X's 440 pounds could trigger failure in already compromised sections. Helicopter extraction offers the ultimate physics advantage. Vertical evacuation eliminates all ground-based pursuit options. But real rescue operations require precise timing and clear landing zones. Military helicopters need roughly 100 feet of clearance for safe extraction, and they can't hover indefinitely due to fuel constraints. Your final physics-based decision determines everything: highway speed versus tunnel safety versus rooftop agility. Which route gives you the best survival odds? Physics gives you real advantages against Mr. X, but let's be honest, your survival odds remain brutal. His mass works against him in tight spaces, your agility trumps his raw power, and smart route selection exploits his design limitations. The math shows escape is possible, but it requires perfect execution under impossible stress. If you enjoyed this breakdown of survival physics, subscribe for more science-based strategies. Comment below with your escape route choice. Which physics advantage would you trust with your life?